stuff.
Yeah.
You could get into that. You just would need to make a conscious effort, and yeah, you probably have
I went back through my Flickr after I got my password
I just do
back.
it as hobby.
Because I can remember
Sounds
my
like the
password.
problem actors have being typecast. Smiley face.
Yeah, exactly. Nicolas Cage is always Nicolas Cage, right? Yeah, I went back to use my Flickr and I was like, oh, some of these are quite nice, right? But nobody's seen them because they're not on Instagram because it was pre-Instagram. So
I could never do paid photography.
That is
if
the
I
best
just
defense.
tarted some of those up, right, made them Instagram size, because none of them will be the right aspect ratio for Instagram. If I went through and I could probably generate a lifestyle Instagram, a burst of lifestyle Instagram stuff to generate interest with. Yeah. Foolishly, I hadn't considered using my old work until now. Like, as in yesterday when I was looking through Flickr and what you've just said. It literally, it's taken until this point to be like, well, I do have a shitload of old photography that I did for fun that I really liked. Except
and you
most
got
of the
positive
models,
feedback for.
most of the models in those are now 10 years older than they were.
No.
Throwback Thursday, right?
And even the button thing, I mean, that was tedious work, but it was different work.
You know.
Time to diversify your Insta.
I don't think the button work would be relevant to my current Instagram. I would have to keep it people related on that Instagram.
Yeah.
I think if I did want to push into, look, I do producty commercial stuff, but yes, I've got that there, but I'm dubious about the future of that. I don't think product photography has a future at the end of the market that I'm at. I think it's too cheap and easy to render it or outsource it to somebody that doesn't really give a shit with an iPhone, because at the budget end that I'm at, nobody gives a shit, so just shoot it on an iPhone. Whereas making people look good is still tricky. You're dealing with a human being, not a product, so you have to interact with the human. You know, make them not look awkward, pick out things that make them look better than they would ordinarily, and you know, so on.
And just get the timings right. Like we had a we sent off old professor into retirement, and so we had a surprise.
Sounds like you strapped it to a barge and lit it on fire.
No. Like we had a farewell thing where we invited like old colleagues and old students, and it was a surprise, and it worked really well, and she was quite moved, and so it worked really well. And then we went, okay, somebody should take photos, but us, obviously, we were involved in this, so we didn't want to
arrange a photographer or such.
Yeah, because we didn't want to take the photos, because then we would experience the whole event through a lens, and that was not what we wanted for ourselves.
Relate to that, yeah.
So okay, we asked around, and then one of my colleagues, she had from the university orchestra, she had a colleague who does photography as a hobby, yeah. So we asked her to do it, and she said, "Yeah, I'm quite happy to do that." And
shove him off on a burning ship, yep. Smiley face.
She did, and then she always caught people in the wrong moments.
Yeah.
Like when I think back on your wedding photos of Doc, like all these photos where people weren't aware that they were photographed, so they looked really natural and really good. And she wanted to photograph people, but she always pushed the button at the wrong moment. So there's from the 150 photos, there's maybe 5 where people actually look nice. Just from their facial expression at the moment they were in.
Don't do photography.
Not talking about like post-processing, because obviously she didn't do it because we didn't really pay her. She got like a little thing, but just the moments she picked or the angles she picked was just okay. Now we've got
creative things I do. I never want to make a job.
We got like there's now a historical record of the event with the photos, but there's nothing where you think, oh, she looks really nice.
Not necessarily an emotional record of the event.
Yeah.
Or a record of the event that sort of captures the people and the emotion at the event. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, basically that's why people photography will remain a thing, I think, because with all the will in the world and all the digital processing in the world, if you don't capture people right, you can't edit your way out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and people say, oh, well, you're going to be able to just record a video and then pick your photographs in the video because the video will be so high res. That's an extraordinary amount of work. Holy crap. You know, imagine sitting through 5 hours of wedding footage to try and pick out the photographs.
And even then, you have to have the right angle and you need to point the camera at the right person at the right time.
In the right position. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And dealing with consumers,
I should do photography, but I'm lazy.
Wants a photograph of them, which means it can't be outsourced, right? The people in the UK will find it very difficult to get a photographer in Bangladesh to take their photograph cheaply.
Yeah.
You know.
Not once time you were tell me you do basic photography like phone photography.
Yeah. So that is one thing. The product stuff, I think, there's the clock ticking on that. I think there's definitely a clock ticking on.
I'm sure you did.
Mental illness.
Mental illness? What? Oh, I'm gonna have to restart.
I don't. That was me. They all aspire to it.